And this topic comes from Nick also. He asks, is there trouble in the foreseeable future of the Deadpool 2 set? Director has left due to creative differences with Ryan Reynolds.
Creative differences is such a diplomatic way for saying these two dudes were fighting on the set. You know what I mean? It's like total industry jargon.
Like, that would have been like a good YouTube video to have them two just, Tim and Tim Miller just fighting on set.
Yeah. In the article, it says, while it's unknown what the differences were specifically, Miller's exit was reportedly amicable.
Of course it was.
According to Variety. Both Miller and Reynolds were confirmed to be returning for the sequel when it was announced back in April. Of course, Miller was the one that directed the first one, and that movie made over $780 million U.S. worldwide.
And it's like 7 or 8 years in the making for that original Deadpool, where Ryan Reynolds and Tim Miller were working together. So I wonder if it was really static between Ryan Reynolds and Tim Miller, or more of a push from the studio to up the stakes or up the ante, bigger budget, more characters that we're seeing get name dropped, like Cable and Domino and all these people. But it almost seems sad in a way, because it was like their baby. They nurtured and created this thing out of like a grassroots kind of effort and movement after how bad they effed them up in X-Men Origins, you know? Yeah.
It's interesting. Of course, this is reading through like filter on filter on filter on filter.
It's what we do.
So the film's still being made.
They're
going to. Ryan Reynolds is not going to let this die. He's going to push whatever he can, and it's spoke for itself. It's made a ton of money. It was very successful.
Sure.
Received very well by comic book fans, and I think they would be stupid not to continue it.
They will, and you look at Ryan Reynolds, who has such a grasp on that Deadpool character, and he knows so much. I feel like if it's what if it was creative differences between of how to portray Deadpool in this next movie, who would you lean towards? Would you lean towards the knowledge of Ryan Reynolds or Tim Miller?
Man, that's what I was just now thinking. It is we'll see now. You'll be able to see how much of it is the actor portraying him. And I think both of you guys make very valid points, because it seems like Ryan Reynolds has been the face for this whole, he was literally the face for the whole movement, where Tim Miller's the guy that was working behind the scenes. If it comes out that this second movie is crap, is it going to damage Ryan Reynolds' reputation or the future of the franchise and things like that,
Yeah, I think, if it bombs, if it doesn't have as good a reception, and usually sequels don't do as well as the first.
Sure.
So, you're going to have to look at it, take a grain of salt with that. But if it's not as quality as the first one was, then you're going to have problems there.
Yeah.
And then Tim Miller does this right here.
Yep. As would any of us.
Now, this news right here is exciting, and I didn't see it coming.
No.
I had no idea that this was really like even a thing that was happening. And what we're talking about is Donald Glover has been cast as young Lando Calrissian for the Han Solo movie.
Oh.
I see what you did there.
I did.
The rapscallion himself.
So he's been officially cast. The announcement was made on StarWars.com, with Lucasfilm revealing that Glover will join Alan Ehrenreich, I guess that's who's playing
Heinrich.
Yeah. He said there's big shoes to fill, and even bigger cape, and it's one that fits him perfectly, which will save us money on alterations. Also, we publicly apologize to Donald for ruining Comic-Con for him forever. I don't know what that means.
It was a Lord Miller statement. It sounds like they were kind of joking, but like...
Because now that he's in the Star Wars universe, he's not going to be able to go to Comic-Con because everybody's going to really know who he is.
Yeah, okay, I gotcha.
It's funny when Alden Ehrenreich, who plays Han Solo, is less of a name than Donald Glover, who's playing Lando Calrissian. That might say something about the significance of the character this time around,
Yeah, I think Donald Glover, he did a really good job on the Community.
Sure, love that show.
He was, kind of like this character that came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Everybody started really liking. And then, of course, Childish Gambino.
His music career is fantastic.
Doing really well. And you were talking about Atlanta.
Atlanta's a great show on FX. It just now premiered. I want to say it was like maybe 3 or 4 episodes in. And it's phenomenal. He's just such a likable actor. As Troy in Community, his relationship with Abed was like a big focus of the show.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of the plots were driven by their crazy
antics.
imaginations
Yeah.
or antics. Yeah, so he seems like our perfect choice. Like, who else could it be other than Donald Glover? He seems like a something about a glove.
Yeah.
Like, fits like a glove. They say the Lando Calrissian cape fits him, so that's good.
I think he's going to be great. He's a nerd as well.
Yeah.
And he's been wanting to play, Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
Spider-Man.
Miles Morales.
Miles Morales, yes. He's been wanting to play him, so him getting this opportunity to play such a key figure because
Very iconic figure.
Mm-hmm.
Lando's one of my favorite Star Wars characters. Like, that was... Anytime I was on camera with Derek's like movies, I was Lando Calrissian.
That's awesome.
That was my name because I love Lando.
Yeah.
And I hope he gets the swagger because Billy D, he's got more swagger than anybody in the world.
Oh, yeah.
He has more swagger than Harrison Ford as Han Solo. In my opinion.
Whoa, bold statement.
I'm going to just go there. I can't wait to see it. I really, really hope they deal with their relationship at the beginning because they've pretty much made everything not canon anymore, but the way Han Solo wins the Millennium Falcon from Lando is such an iconic thing.
Oh,
I
yeah.
can't wait to see that happen in film and just, God.
Absolutely, and we got to see the Kessel Run, too.
Yes, I cannot wait.
I pray they put that in.
Yeah, that's the kind of stuff the fans want to see,
Oh,
though.
yeah.
Absolutely, so I can't see why they wouldn't. Yeah, that is exciting. I don't know about the whole more swagger than Han Solo thing, but to each their own.
And then you get to see him fall into debt with Jabba and all that stuff.
And Lando gets a bad rap, doesn't he? Like,
he does.
he's not... He was put in a situation where, like, everybody in Cloud City could have died if he didn't sell out
Yeah, sell
the
his
crew.
friends.
Yeah.
So, I mean, technically he was trying to be the good guy, but we all see him as the bad guy because of, he had to make that sacrifice, even though, it kind of looks like he's a shady... He is a shady character, but he's not, like, a bad character.
That's why we love him. Same with Han Solo.
By the way, the debt with Jabba and Han and the Kessel Run are one and the same.
They are, okay.
Yes, they are. Because Han was making a Kessel Run with spice, and there was a bunch of Imperial troops, and he had to dump the spice, and that's how he owes Jabba a lot of money. There you go. There's some
Nice.
knowledge.
Canon, baby.
Before we move into gaming news, because we got a lot of Nintendo Switch and PlayStation and VR and all that stuff, because I got to try VR. We're going to answer a few questions that have nothing to do with any of that. First is from Derek Daniel. After last night, do you think Urban Meyer will have heart palpitations again, or acid reflux, or whatever he had at Florida?
He's already popping in asses right now because that was a pitiful loss to a decent Penn State team. The Nittany Lions aren't horrible this year, but Ohio State has such a high-octane offense and a decent defense to boot. That they should have just ran away against Penn State. And as someone who wished that Ohio State was undefeated by the time they got to the national championship, because a few years ago they beat Alabama in the playoff system, the first year of the playoffs. So all Alabama fans wanted that little payback to kind of end Urban Meyer's season. But I still think that they could get in. It did leave a big room for Louisville to come in. But gosh, it feels good to see Urban Meyer lose.
Being a Florida fan, I think he handled that whole situation really, really poorly at Florida. Yeah. If he would have just been honest about it, I wouldn't have cared. But him lying and then 6 months later, oh, I'm perfectly fine.
Miraculously healed. Hey, Ohio State, what's up?
I don't think he's going to leave because that's his dream job.
Yeah.
I think it's just a loss. He's not going to.
Sad.
I'm going to lose. I'm going to leave now because I lost one game.
It's sad that Florida was a means to an end to get to, and he saw success in Florida. That when Ohio State canned their coach, and it was perfect timing. I think that they were already talking behind closed door at Florida, which is why at the end of that season, I think win or lose, he would have probably went on to
I just think
Ohio
if he
State
would have handled it a totally different way, it would have been better. But
Yeah.
I don't see him going anywhere. I think this is a thing that's just going to keep going.
Now he has the whole SEC hates him.
Yeah.
If he's throwing more home runs than the other team, I mean, that's probably good for everybody, and I'm just a really big fan of sports ball.
As long as he shoots the baskets with
he's
the
really
bat.
good at getting in the red zone, the blue zone,
Okay.
and checking people.
Good.
Yeah.
That's a good thing.
It's a good hockey term.
Let's see. Honor. This is from Nick. In honor of Jeremy, what has been your guys' favorite movie so far this year?
That's such a hard one, isn't it?
Batman
It
and
is.
Superman.
Really?
Yeah.
There you go. Not hard for you. See, I almost want to break it down into subgenres because, like, movies from one to the next are so different to me, and I love
Which
Civil
is funny
War.
because, like, your whole thing is, like, your premise behind your stuff is movies. We're just like, we could group them all together and pick. We're fine with it.
Yeah, that is a very valid point.
We're a mixture of everything.
I really did. I loved Civil War. It was one of the funnest times I've had in the movie theater, maybe ever. Kubo and the Two Strings.
Or Kobo,
So much.
I like to put it on Instagram.
Yes, it was such a like beautifully rendered piece of cinema, like so underseen. Leica, if more people don't go see Leica movies, they might stop making movies, and that would be such a shame because their movies are so unique, you know?
I think the story could have been fleshed out a little bit more.
Sure.
But the art, like, it was a beautiful movie from start to finish, and I was intrigued the whole time.
The ending, I thought, was a little more like somber and reflective than what you see in a lot. It was soulful, you know, and I really felt the ending, like, you know, no spoilers, but I thought that final sequence worked really well. And then on the horror side of things, Don't Breathe was really, really good.
Oh my God, I want to see that movie so stinking bad.
It's a lot of fun.
You know
it's
what it
definitely
is?
more exploitation.
Yes.
The blind guy and the home invasion. It's the guy from Avatar. That was really good. But Lights Out.
He's going to be Cable.
Yeah, for sure. Lights Out was one of the funnest, scariest movies that I've seen in a long time in the theaters, and it was a PG-13 horror movie. It was just fun. So those are a couple that really stand out to me.
I could easily go with Civil War, Suicide Squad, Batman vs. Superman, but something that took me back to it when I was a child, watching the movie Jungle Book, watching Tarzan.
Oh, yeah, Jungle Book was a really good one.
So great movies. The Jungle Book was my favorite so far. I liked Tarzan. I liked the Cinderella remake. But Jungle Book.
I liked it.
So
But Jungle
I can
Book.
see why you would think that.
Like, I was waiting the entire time for that one song. Look for the bare necessities.
They just whistle it in the movie.
He sung it a little bit.
He sings it?
A little bit.
A little bit. It's not what you
It
get,
wasn't good.
but it's still.
It wasn't good?
Like, the song, it was a letdown. I was like,
Yeah.
man.
You were expecting what you heard as
Yeah.
a child. And then Christopher Walken as King Louie.
Louie.
The Easter egg in that scene is awesome.
What Easter egg?
Like, he picks up a cowbell, Mowgli does,
Oh.
before Christopher Walken's character comes in.
Aha!
So I
see
love
what
that.
you
I
did
love
there.
that little
Okay.
nod right there.
That is cool.
But him as King Louie,
Yeah.
I love that. And, you know, he was singing
I want to be like you.
I Want to Be Like You. So you had two of the iconic songs from that, and it was very well made, and I cannot wait for the Mulan and the Lion King one.
Well, this sealed the deal for Favreau doing The Lion King, right? Like, he's actually slated to direct it
Favreau
now.
is doing a freaking amazing
He's
job.
knocking it out of the park.
Yeah.
You get your
Sports
Iron
term.
Man, and then you get your other movies, all Disney. He's making a name for himself. Like, he was a good actor, but I think his directing career has exploded.
Yeah, he's in with Disney like very few. Like J.J. Abrams is in with
Thick as
Disney.
thieves.
Yeah, exactly.
What would be
Are
awesome?
you
Or out. If you're in, then give a shout.
You know
Hey.
who won the Disney Song
Shut
Challenge
up.
this year?
Yeah,
Who?
you did.
Awesome, yeah.
We gotta have a rematch on Extra Life. But how awesome would it be? It's not gonna happen. But if Hans Zimmer did the music for Lion King,
He did the first one. He did the original.
the original. but I'm talking about the movie.
Yeah, I think he would come back. He's not doing superhero.
Hans Zimmer did the original music
him
for The
and
Lion
John
King.
worked together on the original.
You guys are dropping all sorts of knowledge on me. I had no idea. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
It's great music.
I have the Lion King soundtrack. I bought that thing because that's like my favorite soundtrack.
The circle of bong.
No, I don't think.
It's a dream within a dream.
Going to the 8th layer.
I don't remember that being in Lion King. But
Should have been.
out of all of them, I would say The Jungle Book has been one of my favorite, most anticipated and
see
favorite
that.
movies of this year.